death and mourning.
Morning, but it's noon. Yes! I finally got to do that joke. I've been holding that one.
That was good.
It is afternoon, so...
Yes. Okay. Let's start with a prayer.
Your turn.
Father in heaven, we thank thee very much that we're able to be together. We thank thee for this chance to read thy scriptures and to learn of thy word and thy ways. We thank thee for giving us this information and helping us to know about thee. Please bless us with further knowledge and bless us with the ability to share this well with those that can use it. We say these things and do so humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Alrighty, chapter 20. Miriam dies. Moses smites a rock, not because she died, at Meribah and brings forth water. The king of Edom refuses to let Israel pass peacefully through his land. Aaron dies and Eleazar becomes the high priest. Then the children of Israel. Go for it.
Even the whole congregation and into the desert of Zin in the first month, and the people abode in Kadesh, and Miriam died there and was buried there.
Kadesh? I wonder if that's Kadesh, not... whatever. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. I mean, when you're severely thirsty, it's the same as hangry, so...
Yeah, dehydration is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of times I have gone and work and ran out of water in my water bottles and just been desperate for water.
There was, I read a thing, or heard a thing on a video one time about NASCAR racing. They would have the long races, and one guy was like, yeah, when pushing in the clutch pedal hurt, you knew you were dehydrated. Yeah, so when somebody started, you know, the Camelbacks, the tanks of water that you can... They started putting those in the car, and the first time a guy did that, he was able to concentrate and work better, and he won the race. And everybody's like, oh, let's put water bottles in everybody's car. And,
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you're driving at a high speed.
In a hot car, in a hot day.
And in an intense situation,
right.
You're bound to sweat a lot.
Oh, yeah. People lose weight racing.
Not surprised.
Yeah, serious amounts of weight.
Don't try to go racing just as a lose weight program. I'm just saying that's not a good idea.
You're going to have more problems if you do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to drive.
I don't know how to drive at this high speed.
True.
They may or may not know how to drive.
I actually had one of your cousins get on the Nürburgring one time.
Gran Turismo specifically.
Yeah, it was on Gran Turismo. I have the PlayStation and Gran Turismo because I like Gran Turismo. And
great way to learn driving for the first time.
Seriously,
amazing.
When racing wheels started to be popularized with Gran Turismo 3 and 4, there were people that said, you know, I was driving my car on the road and I had a problem, and because I had been racing in Gran Turismo, I knew exactly how to fix it, and I made it out of the situation alive. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
GT Academy.
Yeah,
they
seriously.
Are professional racers.
Yeah. They had 8 seasons of finding anywhere from, I think the first year they had 10 and got 1 out of it, but their peak, they had 8 or 10 that won, and everybody within the last 3 to 5 places, all 8 years, at least 5 or 6 years that they did it, maybe 8, are completely and perfectly capable of winning some pretty high-end races.
Watch the Gran Turismo movie. It's awesome.
Yes.
Also, about the cousin, Gran Turismo?
Oh, yeah. He got on Nürburgring, and he was going down the final, that big 1.5 2 mile long straight stretch, and he started jerking the wheel a little bit too much because I'm not sure what he was doing, but suddenly the car just was spinning, and I'm like, yeah, you jerk the wheel too fast at high speeds, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so
You wouldn't let us into an actual car until you saw that we could consistently keep maintain our speed on the Nürburgring and watch where we were going at the same time.
Right, and that's why your oldest sister will never be in a car because she
could only focus on speed or direction. She
and
could
not
do
both
that.
at the same time.
Was just not able to deal with the whole doing it on the wheel. I needed to do it physically, so.
But you still got a little bit of an idea of what was going on.
And you showed you were able to focus on both direction
Right.
and your speed at the same time.
Right.
That's what he was more concerned about rather than everything else.
And you've done better since you got behind
the physical
a real
wheel.
car.
Yeah.
Older sister, on the other hand,
Holy Moses.
bonk,
Watch the
bonk,
master. Boom, bang, crash.
flip over.
Yeah, she
It was, we're never letting her drive the car.
never, ever. Okay, strode, contended or strove, so fight.
Makes sense.
So, and the people chode with Moses and spake, saying, Would God that we had died when our brethren had died before the Lord. We are having a hard time. We're going to die here. We wish we had died before.
When all the other people died, so
Yeah.
we didn't have to suffer anymore.
Yeah, well, life is suffering. Get over it, people.
Life is suffering, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't live.
It's
That was in a video we just watched.
it's easy to die. It's hard to live. If you want to die, I'm not promoting this, but go for it. But at the same time,
You're missing out on a whole lot.
and the purpose of life is to overcome and to not give up. And dying, whether suicide or by accident,
That's essentially flipping the entire game table and saying, "Screw this, I'm done."
yeah, it's giving up if
Screw
you do
this
it
crap
for
on out.
yourself. Yeah, it's sad. And it's sad that some people get into a position where that feels like the only out.
And that was me at one point.
Yeah, and me too. I'm good grief.
Yeah, your stories are terrifying.
Yeah.
Way worse than mine.
We don't need to go into the details.
Yes,
Yeah, we
we're
do
not
not.
going into the details.
And why have ye brought up this congregation of the Lord into the wilderness, that we and our cattle should die here?
And wherefore have you made us to come up out of Egypt to bring us in unto this evil place? It is no place of seed, or of figs, or of vines, or of pomegranates, neither is there any water to drink.
And
And
Moses,
from what I understand, it was a pretty rocky place too.
yeah, that would make sense. Like the really rocky, dry areas.
I mean, they are kind of right next to Saudi Arabia. And stuff
They're in
like
a
that.
desert. Yes, they're in a desert. So,
Excuse me.
anyhow,
And Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
take the rod and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak. Okay.
I'm going out.
Okay. Speak ye unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall bring forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink. Hang on a sec. We got a JST from Genesis 50. And the Lord sware unto Joseph that he would preserve his seed forever, saying, I will raise up Moses, and a rod shall be in his hand, and he shall gather together my people, and he shall lead them as a flock, and he shall smite the waters of the Red Sea with his rod. And took the rod of God in his hand. Okay. No. So there is a rock that I've seen pictures of out in a desert somewhere that has a square cut in it. Like somebody took a saw and cut this rock like 3/4 to 7/8 all the way through, and it looks like it's, good grief, 10 feet tall or something like that. Yeah, that's a picture of it, and it's like, this is not a natural thing. Somebody did this to this rock. So Moses struck the rock.
And Moses took the rod from before the Lord, as he commanded him.
And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock, and he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock?
And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank and their beast also. So I have a thought with this scene, because with the way that it sounds like he went bang, bang, but it could also have been tap, tap, whoosh.
He hit it. It doesn't say how hard.
Yeah, my
But
brain
then
wonders.
there's also this rock that has been cut somewhere out in the wilderness between Egypt and Saudi Arabia and Israel. That the region
Bang.
where they would have been,
Bang.
where someone cut this rock, and who knows? We have no specific statement of how he struck the rock. It could have been with a sawing motion. It could have been with a tip tap. It could have been with a slam bang. Who knows? But the next time they come by that rock, they also do it, and he strikes it then, which is what he wasn't supposed to do that time. So
That's what you were talking about.
So the second time might be he cut the rock until water started to come out. But we don't know, again, if this is that rock or if there was something else going on. So
And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, because ye believed me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel. Therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them.
Oh, wait a minute. This he did the same thing in not speaking to the rock, but striking it. So Moses himself was having a problem with faith.
Oh, he said it to the congregation, not to the rock.
Moses lifted up his hand, and instead of speaking to the rock, he smote it. He hit it. So God says, wait a minute, guys, I said just speak to it. But when they come back, he was supposed to speak to it again, if I remember correctly.
And
we'll
he
get there.
whacks it
and
again. And
he hits it again. So that causes them to lose their ability to bring everybody into the land.
he already said, though, no, I will not bring you into the land.
No. Well...
Oh, right, because he said, okay, a certain amount of time has passed, you can go into the land now,
Right.
and then they do something wrong. Okay, are you kidding me?
No. Moses and Aaron, when the 12 spies come back, everyone is still in the same position. Joshua, Caleb, Moses, and Aaron are all told, you four are going to go into the promised land, but everybody else of, 10 or 12 or 20 or something and over is not. But now that they have gone to this rock, and instead of speaking to the rock, they hit the rock, now God says, guys, fine, you're not going in the land either.
Okay, so he was saying it specifically to Moses and Aaron. Got it.
In this case. This is the water of Meribah, which is quarrel, strife, and contention. Not Mara, which is... because the children of Israel strove with the Lord, and he was sanctified in them.
What does that mean? That's a weird statement. Because they're being contentious with the Lord. What does sanctified mean? Doesn't give me give us a clear answer.
Yeah, we don't have... Because they were striving with them. Well...
Is there something in there?
Oh, yeah. Let's pull that up. They had been sanctified to God. Oh, that's where my... I was looking for these this morning. I'm like, they're over here. Anyhow, they have been sanctified. They have been set apart for by God to be with Him. So
Numbers 20, verse 13.
let's see here. 15. That's way too far. Balak. Oh, Balak. He's a fun one. 20. Water from the rock. First month, holy. Mary dies of barrenness. No water for community. Got opposition to Moses and Aaron that quarreled. If we'd only died, why'd you bring us? And livestock should die here. Why? Because Egypt is a terrible place. There's nothing to eat or drink. Went from the assembly to attend a meeting, face down. The Lord appeared to them, take the staff. Speak to the rock before their eyes, I will pour out its water. So Moses took the staff in the Lord's presence, commanded them, he and Aaron, assembly of the rock, listen, you rebels, you must bring water out of this rock. Then Moses raised his arm and struck the rock twice. The staff, water gushed out, and the community of the life of the rock drank. But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, because you did not trust in me enough to honor me as holy in the sight of Israel, of the Israelites, you will not bring this community into the land I give them. These were the waters of Meribah, where the Israelites quarreled with the Lord and where he was proved holy among them. Oh.
That makes a little more sense.
Yeah. So he was sanctified, but it was Not that they were set apart or previously given his blessing, but that
It's him
he was
showing proof that he is holy.
right. Okay. So next section is about Edom.
And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Thus saith thy brother Israel, thou knowest all the travail that hath befallen us.
Judges. There's another time when Edom didn't want to let them through.
So
Kadesh. I swear this is supposed to be Kadesh.
Well, whatever it is.
Yeah. It's like you saying bury instead of bury. Anyhow.
And apparently, that is actually something that is only different because of slang.
All right.
So it's correct either way.
Tomato, I guess. Edom is the children of Esau. Remember? Jacob and Esau?
Yeah.
Edom is the children of Esau, and so when they say, thus saith thy brother, they're saying the tribes. Let us go through how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers.
And when we cried unto the Lord, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and hath brought us forth out of Egypt. And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border.
Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by the king's highway, in other words, the main road. Mm-hmm. We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left until we have passed thy borders.
And Edom said unto him, Thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword.
Or through me,
Makes
through
sense.
my land. And the children of Israel said unto him, We will go by the highway, and if I and my cattle drink of thy water, then we will pay for it. I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet.
And he said, Thou shalt not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand.
Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border, wherefore Israel turned away from him.
And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor.
H-O-R, not W-H-O-R-E. Wrong
Wrong kind.
Yes. H-O-R. I wonder what Mount Hor is. Yeah. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, or the border of the land of Edom, saying,
Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel, because ye rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah, my bad.
Whatever. And take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up unto Mount Hor. Is this back to Sinai? And I don't know. Horeb? That's right. It's Horeb or Sinai. So maybe Mount Hor is just a translation error?
Maybe. And strip Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, and shall die there.
Ooh.
Okay, so you're going to go up to this mountain, take off all your clothes, give it to your son, then come back down and die.
No,
What?
He's not going to come down. That's the point.
Oh. Okay, so as soon as you go up in the mountain, take off all your clothes and give them to your son, you're dead.
Right.
Wait, what? No, I don't want to do that. Sorry.
I can imagine that he at least left his privacy. And Moses stripped Aaron of his garments and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron died there up in the top of the mount, and Moses and Eleazar came down from the mount.
And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even at all the house of Israel. Dang.
Numbers
I'm not surprised, but dang.
33. This is interesting because it even says right here in the footnote, Numbers 33, we're in chapter 20, they're going to do this. And so when was this in the timeline? This is... I don't like the timeline or the pronouns in the Bible. It's weird. But
At least it makes a little more sense when you get to the New Testament, but that's a big little.
yeah, I mean, they only have 3 years to deal with Jesus' ministry instead of several hundred or maybe a couple thousand years of history to deal with. So, anyhow, we have Miriam dying at the beginning, which may just be she was a woman and had worn herself out. I know that I've had family members wear themselves out, so, having 16 children tends to do that to you. But
Youngest of 10 here.
yeah, my dad's dad was the 15th of 16, and his mom died about the time he was 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she totally wore herself out, and his dad wore himself out within 4 more years after that. So he was an orphan at 12.
That I did not know, actually.
Yeah, I thought I told you that before. Anyhow.
Not that I remember.
So Miriam could have just been, due to having children and being a woman and taking care of a lot of things, had worn herself out and she dies. Then we have the rock with the water. And this makes me wonder if this was at the beginning of their trip or at the end of their trip, because it's talked about again at the end of their trip, I'm quite sure, in the 40 years in the wilderness. And then Aaron, who is going to be mentioned, was that going to be, yeah. Aaron the priest went up into Mount Hor in Numbers 33. So they talk about it again. Why they have to reiterate things so many times throughout all of these. Anyhow, this is a trio of very important occurrences all in one chapter, and it's not showing that God doesn't like him, it is showing that God is like, dude, I said one thing, why'd you do something else? I guess I'm not going to be able to trust you. And the way that ends up echoing out across the generations. I wonder what would have happened if Moses and Aaron had been able to live even a couple of months, even 1 month in the land and help them divide up all the land and everything. That could have been interesting, But because Moses and Aaron both agreed to, or maybe they didn't agree, they just acted instead of following God's command, they lost out on the chance to be able to enter. But Moses did get to stand on the top of the mountain and view the whole land, so I wonder exactly how much he saw. But who knows, who cares? Not for us to decide, not for us to know at this time. It doesn't matter. It's just part of the story. So,
Story of history.
Yeah. Tomorrow we get to talk about some fighting and, the fiery serpents.
Is this the one with the brass one on the top of the stick?
Yep.
I like that story for the sheer fact of, it's too simple. That's not going to help me. I looked. I'm now healed. I'm all better now. The person next to me died because they didn't look. Oh dear.
and there have been historical disagreements about how this could have happened. Some people say, well, they have to have physically looked at it and then they were healed. Other people say they
had to look on it and believe.
Well, either way, they had to believe. But other people say that there is some kind of flesh-eating worm that they would capture and then pull out, like a tapeworm or something.
Ew!
Yeah. There are some worms that get really nasty in their fixes, but the serpent on the staff, the serpent that was put on the staff was showing them how to pull out the, I guess, tapeworm or whatever it could have been. So it could have been something in a level of instruction. It could have been something in a level of a miracle/miraculous healing that was instantaneous. But either way,
we'll get into it more tomorrow.
We will talk about that, and we're just going to remember that we had 2 deaths and a bunch of water. So, not crying. We will see you guys tomorrow and go over all of that.
Bye.
Bye.